Hi, this is Teri from Sweet Pea Papers and the Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group. This is video 1 in our series, The Final Days of Summer, and this is a collaboration, yay, between LineDotArrow, which is Nathalie, and Suzanne at Nonstop Papercrafts. So these are little overviews of the kits, and these are in color. Now, this is a huge kit. Half of it you can buy at Suzanne's shop, and half of it you can get at Nathalie's shop. Plus there's a whole bunch of freebies. There's going to be challenges that come with freebies. There's freebies at the Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group. There's going to be freebies at Haystack's Crafty Corner, which I'm sorry I forgot to mention is the part of the collaboration as well. And so fun is going to be had by all. And yeah, so we're going to get going here. I'm not going to do a flip through. Be sure to go to Nathalie's channel and to Suzanne's channel to see the flip through for each half. And then also at the beginning of every week, make sure to go to their YouTube channels and see the videos on the challenges for each week and also for the freebies for each week. You can also pick up the freebies, like I said, at Haystack's Crafty Corner Facebook group, Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group, and the LineDotArrow Facebook group. Lots of freebies. Now, there's going to be a drawing, and I'm just going to say this real quick. Every post you make, and because it's covered in Nathalie and Suzanne's videos, but I just want to make sure that people that are watching this first video know, if you didn't see my update. So be sure to go back on September 1st. I posted a Sweet Pea Papers September update, and that has all this information in it. But all I'm going to say real quick is when you make something, be sure to post your picture, your video, your flip through, your YouTube video, whatever it is, in the Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group, and then you will get an entry towards the drawing in the Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group drawing, and then the same is true for all the others. Okay, so that's all we're going to do on that. So now I don't have a flip through because you're going to go to Nathalie's and Suzanne's YouTube channels for that. So I am going to say that some of the freebies are in here because we have access to them all, but I'm not going to tell you which ones are freebies and which ones are parts of the kit. Basically because I don't want to give anything away, and the other basically is because they're all mixed together. I have absolutely no idea which ones are which. Okay, so I've set aside some that I printed up. Did I print these on both sides? No, these are the singles of the writing pages, but we're probably going to use them as cards. And then these are all the other pages. We're going to do a manila folder project. And yeah, so I've kind of got a general idea of what we're going to do, but I'm not super sure. How is that one bigger? Did I forget to trim a side? Yes, I did. I forgot to trim an edge off that one. I'll do that real quick, so I don't try to use it with that little edge on there. There we go. Now it's the same size. Okay, so these pages, oh, that was the other thing I wanted to tell you. When you print these pages out, make sure to not print them borderless and to not print them fit to page. You will lose part of the picture on the edges because these are in UK sized images or pictures or papers or whatever you want to call it. And so if you try to make it larger to fit to the frame that your normal printer is going to show here in the US, then it's going to kind of magnify it up, and then you lose part of the edges of the images. So don't do that. So I'm doing mine in the Sepia. I'm going to try to fit in a color project, but I'm actually going to be doing the challenges. Oops, can't show you those. In the color version. But I thought it would be kind of fun to do a sepia version on the manila folders. Now, we're going to be using some envelopes, and we're going to be using some stamps to do the build on this. But look at all the envelopes that I have. They're white. So I'm using Gathered Twigs, which is the darkest brown that I have. If I would have had, what is that other darker one? There's one that's one darker that a lot of people use, but I actually don't have it. So I'm not going to use that. I thought about doing them in black because I thought that would be interesting as well. But because of the black on these images, but not, I don't know. I thought that would be a little too harsh. It would be interesting and it would be fun. See, there's quite a bit of black on here, but I think this might actually be super dark brown. Okay, walnut stain. That's the other color, walnut stain. So we're going to get going. We're just going to ink the heck out of these along the edges to minimize the fact that they're white. Because there's nothing I can do about it. I don't have any cream colored envelopes. Don't have time to order any envelopes. Plus, envelopes are expensive. This is an expensive hobby and I do these videos for free. So, yeah, that's all I'm going to say on that. So what we're going to do is talk about the size of the papers real quick. These are going to be 10 and, let's see, that's I have 10 and 5/8 long and 7.5 tall, if I remember. Yep, 7.5. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this down. I wanted to save the tabs, but there's no way to do it and have the hinge as well. Now, these are Amazon Basics, so you can buy these on Amazon really inexpensively. These are just regular sized file folders. You just have to be a little bit careful about having this show, you know, when you're cutting different sizes and things. And I'm not sure exactly how many folders we're going to use. I have a bunch of used folders, and since we're cutting the tabs off, I probably should have used 2 of those instead of 2 brand new ones. Anyway, we're going to use 2 brand new ones to start out with. So I'm going to use this. So what we're going to do is on the cover, I'm going to cut this off. Or am I? Yes, at least down to here. This is going to be papered. Have the flap. No, the flap will end up just sticking out. So I'm going to cut the top off and we're going to put it on like this. And then we're going to glue it on as a pocket. So we've got a pocket here and a pocket here on the cover. Yeah, and so we need to cut this down. Let me set this one to the side. I haven't decided how big I want that. Now I want one to open this way, and I'm going to have the other one open the other way. And then we're going to have some envelopes in here. And then, of course, we're going to have pockets and such. And belly bands and things like that. So, I guess let's get started. So this is going to be 6 by 9. And so we're going to want a vertical picture for this. First of all, a portrait picture. And then for this one as well. So we're going to cut this down to 6 3/4. We're going to do 7 on the cover. We're going to do 7 on the cover because we're going to slide it over a little bit. And we're going to have the small border going around the edge. And then we're going to have a larger border on this side because we're going to want to be able to see our card. I've got these little whale tails that I cut out, and I'm going to definitely have to cut out some more in cream, and we'll be inking those. And of course we got some magnets and we've got some glue and things like that. So we're going to end up pausing this before we glue anything. Or I'm going to ink the envelopes as I go, but we're going to pause so that I can stamp the edges of these before we glue them together. So now that I said all that, now I forgot how big I want this. I think I wanted this to be 7. 6.25, 6.5, and another 1/2 inch. I think I'm going to try to do a 1/4 of an inch border around so that we can see our stamps this time. So that's going to be, gosh darn it, 1/4 on this side, 6, 6 3/4. Let's make it 7 on the front. On this one, we're going to open this up because they're not going to be the same size. But like I said, we're going to make yeah, we're going to make something. I totally forgot what I was going to say. So we want to make this, open this giant paper trimmer up. The reason I don't do it on camera is because I have this giant paper trimmer. And let's see. Now you don't want to cut it in half where this folds. You want to cut it in half. You want to cut it off on this side. And then we can glue a tab back on if we want, as long as the paper's going to cover it, but that's not going to work on the cover. So let's go for 7 on the front. Let's double check this. We're going to have to cut the height as well. Get a paper. I don't want any of these to be full sized. I don't want to have just this big expanse. Okay, so what we're going to do is, this is 9. We're going to be cutting the top off anyway. So let's see what we've got. This much. I'm just looking at this side and the top, okay? I know this side is going off the edge, and we may not use this paper because it's going to be covered up, and this is one of my favorite ones. So we'll probably do a collage paper, and maybe we'll do this one on top here. And then I want to put this here. Yeah, that looks fine. Then this was what, 10 3/8, 10 5/8, 10 5/8. So let's, and this is 9. So let's do 10 as the height on this front piece. So the easiest way to do that would be to score it at 10. And then that'll give us a line that we can cut it on. So, because I don't want to go all the way across necessarily. Well, what if we made the whole thing 10 inches? No, I want it to be different. So we want it to be 10 inches tall. It's not going to work, is it? Alright, just going to have to cut it with a line. Which, as you guys can tell, I was trying to avoid at all costs. I do not cut well in a straight line. I don't even draw a straight line very well. So we wanted 10 inches tall. I do remember that. So let's make a mark at 10. mark at 10. We'll cut this off here, just on the front piece. So we're going to open it like this. That means we'll cut it like this, and then we'll cut along the line right here. So we're just going to cut this chunk out. You know, we could make a tab here if we wanted to, couldn't we? I mean, we could draw one. And then cut it out. There we go. Let's see if I can do it. Oops. I don't know what I'm doing. You have to erase that line and hope it erases all the way. We're just going to go to the line. Now I just want you guys to know that I am just winging this. I totally did not plan much of this ahead of time. Just the fact that I wanted different heights. Okay. So we can save that. We'll have a tab from there as well. That'll make a better template too, because it's smaller. Let's make sure we can cut that. I made it kind of dark. I mean, erase it. I think I said cut. We'll make our paper come up to that line. It's really not erasing all the way. That's how high we were going to make our paper anyway. So now before we can, well, let's get the rest of this cut. So this front folder, I don't mind if the part behind is shorter and skinnier. So this is wider because we're putting this envelope on. Yeah, that's going to be fine. And then we are going to not make the next one as wide. We're going to make it narrower. And we're just going to make it this height here, which is going to be 10. So let's do it at 6.5. We'll do this back one at 6.5 by, let's see. Yeah, we left the extra at the top because of the tab and also to put our pocket in and out. So this was 10. Let's do it really light. 10 by 7. So that means we want this one. We can do 10. This one, I mean. I'm trying to think how I want it to look. So I wanted it to be, it's going to be 6 1/2. Let's do that, 6 1/2. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. And I don't know if you realize when you build these, sometimes you go through, you gotta sacrifice some manila folders sometimes, especially when you're just kind of winging it. Okay, so we want this to be 6 1/2. And that's 10 before the tab. The others are 10 5/8 is the paper. Well, you know, we could be taller in the back. 10 5/8. This is 10. How tall is this? 1/4 of an inch. So that's 10 1/4. Well, then we would make this 10 5/8, and that would give us that giant expanse, which we didn't want. Okay, so we're going to do it shorter. Let's cut it cinch this width, whatever it was we decided we wanted. Okay. Now, if we had a really long piece, that would actually be kind of cool. To have it that long. Do you see what I mean? But we don't. And I don't want to make it let's make it halfway between the tab and this one. It's 1.5 inches down. That is obviously not the same. I must have marked it at 1 3/4 inches. So let's make this one 1.5 inches. And of course, we're going to cut this one over. You know, what if we made a tab on this side here? That's why you save your scraps. Okay, once again, I have a line I need to erase, but our paper's going to come right up to there, and I drew this one lighter on purpose. So let's cut this out. I forgot to turn my music down, even though it's barely loud enough for me to hear, so I hope when I listen to this back there's not any music playing. I will tell you that I'm listening to Sirius XM, the Classic Rock Top 1000. It's very awesome. Alright, so now we need to round this a little bit, I think. Plus, there's a little lip right there because of this fold. So we need to take care of that. So let's do that first. Let's take that little bit off of there. Sometimes when I cut, you're going to see the lines, but I'm going to have it off camera, but that's only so I can hold it close enough so I can see what I'm cutting. It's not that I'm doing anything secret like in The Wizard of Oz behind the curtain. I think I can use this and just round it. Nope, I can't get it in there. So let's just round a corner like that. Okay, so now we have this, but they're not the same. Well, that just looks ordinary now. Didn't want it to look ordinary. So I am not happy with this. Doesn't matter which way I fold it. Why, yes, it does. Okay. So let me fold it this way. All I did was flip it. Okay. So that makes a difference. All right. So that'll give us that. Then we're going to want, I want to have one of these envelopes on the back. But I may cut it down. So let's do the back. The back is going to be like this. So let's make it not quite as wide as this. Because I want all different sizes. Oops, that's not going to work. Definitely have to hold them together. I got all kinds of fuzzies on my eraser. I love this pencil. You just turn it like magic. You have more eraser. Magic eraser. Wait, I think that's a brand name. Do I want it as tall? No, I don't think so. So let's make it this short. And we'll cut it the same width to begin with. On this back, darn it, on this back side. And then we'll take a look at it. We may make it smaller. So we wanted them to be all different sizes. So we're going to open this up. And let's cut it off here first. Then we can cut that one by hand. See, we can use these for vertical pockets and belly bands. So like I said, make sure to keep them. Okay, so we've got this. Let's make a note. Oz 3. All right, so this is going to be the center. So we're going to glue it as a pocket. We turned it inside out, so this is going to be the cover. This is going to be the center. So I write in cursive on one part and I print on the other. I realize it doesn't matter, but I'm trying to stop myself from doing it. Okay. So now let's make a line. We'll cut that one from there. I think if I remember correctly, that makes this the back. I'm going to cut it past a little bit this time so we can cut that little seam off. So you're just going to cut it on this side of the fold by just a little bit, just a hair, just enough to get rid of that fold. Oh, they're playing Bungle in the Jungle. I haven't heard that in so long. That's probably why they call it classic rock, huh? No, to me it's just rock. I am a classic. I don't mind saying so. Oh, for goodness sakes. Okay, so that's going to make this the back. It's going to go this way. So this is going to be the back. So now, how do we want this to look? I want this just set offset. But that's not going to work with the back. So let's start here. We'll go from there. Now let's make this one shorter. What do you think? Shorter than the rest. Can't make it too short because I want to. Oh yeah, these are cuttable, aren't they? They're just paper. So let's make this shorter. The shortest. Okay, so this is the height of the others. So we want to make it short. Ah! I just erased my line. No. Okay, so there's the tab, which we're going to ignore. So if we're going to make it the shortest, we'll need to make it down here. Okay. So that's 2 1/4. Boy, these have been coming out even, which is really weird. It's weird. Do you guys want me to give you a blow by blow on what songs they're playing? We can all jam out together with our imaginary music. They're playing the it's the top 1000. So it's going to take a long time. I really like SiriusXM. I had a 3-month trial, and then it's $10 a month for the audio and the video. So unless just the audio, because I haven't used the video, been using my ALEXA with the screen to play the music, but I don't know how to bring up the interface on the screen. Wonder if it's you have to enable it as a, whatchamacallit. Oh, I'm going to have to cut that. Okay. So this is going to be like this. So we're going to have this in a pocket. And then it'll flip over. So there's the pocket here. And then this will open like this. I think we need a tab back here. And we're going to have to cut this one shorter even yet. Because if we make a tab, no, that'll be all right. That way we'll have a tab on the back as well. This is getting kind of crazy, isn't it? There's no way I could write down directions for this, huh? Yeah, there's not going to be a PDF with this one. I know I haven't been making them lately. But, it's not good. Yeah, there's a little notch there. I don't like that at all. There we go. Okay. That makes these two the same height. I don't think I want that. Let's make, because we wanted the center to be the shortest. If we make it the same size as this, then it's not the shortest, is it? So let's, I'm looking all around for my ruler and I have it setting where it belongs of all places. Well, if we make it an inch, this is going to be the pocket in between, and I was going to have it open from the side so that we would have a side tab. I think I'm still going to do that. So let's just take this side down a 1/2 inch to make it the shortest. And then we're at 45 minutes for the time. So we will talk about the stamping, and then we will end the video here. And then you guys, whoops, can stamp yours, and then we'll do the envelopes next time. And try to start doing some papering. Okay, so let's cut this off. For a minute there, it didn't look straight. But just for a minute. Okay. So this is the back. This is going to be the center. This is going to be the cover. I like it. I like all the different sizes. Then when we open this up, we'll have this shorter side with the pocket. I almost feel like we should round this corner. Will help cover up that I went a little too far there. Okay. So this is going to be back. Yep, I think I like that. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to take one of these stamps that's just a pattern. I kind of like this one, but I don't know that I'm going to use it. But I do like this one. And we're going to stamp it along the edge. See, I think that's going to maybe leave too much open space. So I may... This... We're only going to see 1/4 of an inch anyway. But I wanted to make it to where we see a little bit more of the edge. There's a medallion one right here. So, you know, we may be able to use this. No, it just gets too skinny at the bottom. I think maybe we'll use this illegible text, or I'll go find another one. And when I say illegible text, it just means that it's writing, or it looks like writing, but you can't read it. So if we put this all the way around, oh, that would be kind of neat. Kind of like that. Just make sure we don't get these 2 lines, because that will take up a lot of the space. So just make sure to line the corners up like so. Well, it doesn't matter. You're not going to have the same stamp. Anyway, you get my point. We're going to stamp it all the way around every single edge of everywhere, including the tabs. Okay? Unless you're planning on papering up and around, and if you are, good for you. I'm not going to do that. My tabs are just going to be stamped. Okay? So this is what you need to do. You need to stamp around all the edges of everything except the inside of this one. Me, I'm just gonna probably stamp it just so I got all my bases covered. That way when you look inside the top of the pocket from the front side, then then you'll have stamping. So I'm going to stamp mine all the way around on all 4 sides, or all 8 sides. Okay, so that's where I'm going to leave that. And then we will start in the next video with, oh, and I'm going to ink it as well, I think. Not heavily, I don't think. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to ink it and stamp it or just stamp it. I'm going to just stamp it, and then I'm going to look at it and see. And I may need the extra accent of doing a thin edging with the ink. Okay? You decide on yours, and I'll decide on mine. How about that? And I will see you in the next video, and we will start on the envelopes. And then in the third video, we'll start papering. Maybe we can do the front, paper the front. And so I'll see you in the next video, and that will be just a second for you and a day for me. Okay, bye-bye.